Here we are, and Sasha and I are back. It's been over a year.
Unfortunately.
Yes. 2022 was a weird kind of year, I think, for both of us. I was like in my coaching program. You were like buying a house, getting a new job. Like it was a monumental year. So all the things that we had planned for like Luminous Beings, our retreat and stuff, that's now moved to this year. But our podcast has changed a little bit of a focus. So we just thought today we're gonna come on here and tell you a little bit about what happened for Sasha's 30th. Sasha had a big old blasty blast in New Orleans in last October, and she invited some peeps to go. And yeah, so I'm sitting here with Bixby. I wanted you guys to see. And I poured some bourbon just so we could like chat, because we're gonna be talking about what happened on Bourbon Street. Like some things happened. So you want to give us the premise? Like it was your 30th bash.
Yes.
Dirty 30.
I turned 30 and I wanted to go to New Orleans because it's one of my favorite cities. And I invited, whether or not, 8 of us. And there were 5 from the Millennial generation. And then Sarah, my mom, and my mom's best friend Kim were part of you guys are Gen X?
Yeah,
I'm a different generation. I picked October because I really wanted to dress up and do something fun because I love like Halloween and all that. So even though I'm Gemini, proud Gemini, and we went October, and yeah, we did end up having a lot of fun. There were definitely some some interesting times, but
there were.
I guess I'll just go off and just I want to warn everyone. I want everyone to be aware when you go to places, you need to be aware of all your surroundings and everything.
Like and doing your research? Is that what you mean? Like,
well, yeah, and just, I keep your wits about you as well. So, all right.
Oh, yeah. I think we should say ahead of time, like, there was a lot of drinking going on. And it was to be expected. Like, it was a birthday party. We were there for a few days, and we're not like, we don't normally drink like this, but there was a lot of drinking. And I think you'll hear later. But yeah, so I can say from my Gen X experience that they were off the charts. Like they drank. And what was really kind of sad for me to look back was like they could stay up late. They could stay up late. They could get up ready at like 10 and then be going out, and like, me, Kim, and Shauna, like, we're getting ready for Betty Bye. Like, Mama is tired.
I want to say we went out 3 nights in a row, and I will say by night number 3, we were pretty pooped. I'm not gonna lie.
Were you?
These millennials, we were dragging, to say the least.
You came home with the hot dogs?
Yes. Yeah. No, listen. So we were on Bourbon, and my best friend George, she loves a hot dog. So we find this hot dog vendor, and we go up, and we had gotten hot dogs the night before, but we all just got one. And it was a collective agreement that we should have gotten more. So we go to this vendor.
You got one to share with 6 people?
Got one. We each got one.
Okay.
But we were still hungry, like after our one. So the next night we go out, and so at this point there was just 4 of us, and we each got 2 hot dogs. And then we pretty much and then immediately after the hot dogs, we went to the bathroom. So I remember two of us went in the bathroom and two of us had to stay out to hold all of the hot dogs.
Yeah. Aren't they called glizzies? Is that what you guys were calling? I was like, what the fuck is a glizzy? But apparently that's a thing.
I know. I didn't know until Jordan. So I don't know where.
So blame that on her.
Yeah, we're blaming it on Jordan for sure. I'm not sure where glizzy comes from. I don't know why they're called that, but glizzies are hot dogs.
Someone's outside the bathroom with like 6 of them. Hey, chilling.
It was me out there. We got like 6 hot dogs. And this girl comes up and she's like, oh my God, did you guys need someone to hold all your hot dogs so you can go to the bathroom? And I think about her all the time, like how nice that was for her to offer to hold all our hot dogs. And I was like, oh no, we've got friends in here. Okay. But yeah, then I think we all ate 1 hot dog. So it turns out that was enough.
Yeah, I don't even know how though. Like, well, they were big though.
Yeah,
we took some pictures, so I'll see if we can put those in.
Get the pictures in here because they're classic.
They are. What would you say was your favorite part about that trip? What was your favorite?
I really loved the gator tour. I had a lot of fun on that.
Yeah, that was the swamp tour.
Oh yeah, it was a swamp tour, not a gator tour, but there were gators out there. Yeah, I love swamps in that. Like, I don't want to be in them all the time, but like in that kind of environment, that was the coolest. Like seeing all that stuff.
Was that unexpected to you? Like, were you expecting to like it as much as you did?
I mean, yeah, I thought I would love it. I love New Orleans, and I like that kind of like, I don't know. I love like the swamps and the big willow trees and stuff. Like, I think it's really cool. So I thought I would
like the landscape of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It was beautiful. And I remember when we were on the boat and we went slow. Remember we went we went under that bridge and we went back to this area after we saw the gators. And it was just really peaceful. And we saw like the birds and the raccoons.
No, that was wild. We should try and put some pictures in of those too, because there was like a bunch of them just eating, washing their little
I know. It was like you weren't expecting to see like a family of raccoons out there, but they were there. I think they were used to like tourists probably feeding them or something.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But so that was your favorite part?
I really loved that part. It was also like one of the like most chill parts. Like, I feel like a lot of New Orleans was like go, go, go. Like, pretty much as soon as we got up, we were getting ready and leaving and stuff. So I like that we were just kind of like hanging out then. And then when we ate at Jack Rose.
Yes.
Jack Rose, I think.
Yes. That was awesome.
That place was amazing. I still think about that kale salad that I refused to get because I was like, I'm not getting a salad at a fancy place. It was so good. I wish I had gotten that salad. So
yeah, I will say, so Jack Rose was your idea. Like, you found that after we had already made plans and you were like, let's go to Jack Rose. And I remember looking at it thinking, okay, like it's kind of pricey, but it was like for your 30th. So we were like, no Lord. So we go, and they just had so many cool, like they had that disco ball drink.
Yes.
They had the shambongs.
Yep, we did shambong,
which was awesome. Yes. That was a good night.
That was fun. We were all together and I liked the ambiance in there. It was very, very like eclectic and very,
yes,
but my kind of style. And it was very like dim lit. And I loved that place. That was a really cool dinner.
I think you could really get a sense of, I mean, I don't know. I'm not like a huge New Orleans buff. I don't know a lot about New Orleans. That was the first time I had ever been, but I felt like you could get a feel in there of like, it kind of felt like, oh, this does feel like New Orleans.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's just how I felt. Maybe this was my first time, but I thought it was pretty cool. We got an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that made it so feel like we were always rushing is because we were always having to get an Uber and we had to get 2. Like, we always had to get 2 Ubers because 8 people, there's not an Uber that can fit all of them. So I think that was a We were all like, Uber's coming, you better be ready. Yeah, it was yeah. And then the whole we got pictures taken. Oh, the lady who came out. Okay. We so let me just preface this with I am like when I go to a new place, my what's the word? Like my sensors are on. Like I'm looking for trouble at every, just thinking like something gonna happen. Like I'm on the alert. And so we went to this park, we were taking pictures, and this lady comes out from one of these awesome, like old style mansions that they just bought. And she's got a leash on this white hairy dog, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep.
She's got a broken nose. Well, she had like black eyes. Because I think she had a broken nose or something. And she comes out and she's like, "Do you guys want to come in?"
I had no going on. I had like walked up and just I like turned around and saw you guys like talking to somebody, and my mom can make friends anywhere. And this lady, so I was like, oh my gosh, my mom is like harassing this lady.
They were already besties. They were they were already like planning dinner. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. But it was hilarious because it was like you could see in the group there were those who were like, yeah, let's go in. And then there was like people in the back like, should we just be going into some lady's house?
Yeah.
So that was interesting to see because I remember standing on the porch, like thinking about all like the movies that I've seen of like people being killed and stuff. Like when they go in that house, I was just like, I don't know if we should be doing this, but it turned out well.
Yeah.
Like she was sincere.
I was like, surely we can't all be kidnapped and murdered, right?
Yeah, it's like we had a pretty big group, so someone's got to make it out. I was like standing back by the door because I was like, if I need to be the one to like go out and get help, I'm gonna be over here. So I'm just like recording. I'm like taking video. I'm back by the door because you guys had went and like checked out the kitchen and all kinds of shit. Yeah. So that was pretty cool though. That was probably like
awesome.
One of the nicest. Yeah, because we got to see a really old home that was gorgeous, and it was just the way it was decorated and what do you call like the architecture of it, the like floor to ceiling windows. It was awesome.
Yeah, and she just said just a huge fan of New Orleans as well and wanted to be able to share that home with other fans of New Orleans, which I thought was amazing. I thought that was really cool of her to do that.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. Like I would be worried like, let me invite this group of people into my home. Like you don't know what that group of people like. We could have been killers, right? Yeah. So she took a little chancy chance. So we did that. And then things that I think when you go to New Orleans, you can't like not talk about is Bourbon Street. Like that was my first time on Bourbon Street. You had already been to New Orleans a couple times, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you knew what Bourbon Street was like.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect really for like Halloween, because Halloween and Mardi Gras are like the biggest times a year for New Orleans. So I've been there for Mardi Gras, but it was like Fat Tuesday. So it was like the weekend after. It wasn't quite as crazy. Halloween was crazy. Like it was packed, like tons of people. But I don't know. I like the vibe. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I'll make a note here that the Gen X'ers did not go out on Halloween night. We saw you guys get dressed up and we were like, bye. We'll leave the light on for you.
Unfortunately, Halloween night, we went out the night before Halloween, and that was night 3 of going out. So I will say we were dragging. We were really dragging because we were tired. We had done so much the past like 3 days, and it was a lot. But I loved my costume, and I really wanted to go out there, and I was determined.
It was awesome. It was an awesome costume. I will say, but actually you guys all had cool ass costumes, I will say. I mean, Jordan came out as Ginger Spice. Amara was, what's that chick's name?
Love it, from Sweeney Todd.
Yes. And what was Allie? She had
I think his name is, from The Big Bang Theory.
Yes. Okay. That's a whole other story for Nikki, right? Like she didn't dress up and go, did she?
She did not. That was very unfortunate.
Because we had to leave at the butt crack the next day. Okay.
3 a.m. to make sure that you could get to the airport on time. And then you wanted to take one Uber. So unfortunately, Nikki did not get to go out with us. She was going to be a pink lady. So that
is sad. Yeah. And okay, so you guys went out and we did go out with you guys, but we came back. I remember we went to what was that shop you wanted to go to? Like you had been wanting to go in. We had to like be in line.
Why can I not think of it? The Voodoo Queen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, her name is escaping me right now.
It'll come to you, but
yeah,
we went there. We did some shopping.
Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen. I cannot think of what the store is called right now, but her shop.
That was weird to me. And not weird like in a bad way. It was I didn't know anything about her. So it was, and when you go in there, people treat it like it felt like, what would you, like, not an altar, but it felt very, I don't know. There's a word, I cannot think of what it is, but it was like a spiritual thing in there, but also it was like a very like high reverence people placed for Marie. Yeah. So I don't know anything about her, but apparently lots of other people do. And they were serious about it. Like there was some shit in there. They were taken serious. Did you buy anything?
I did. I bought like it was like some kind of like protection necklace, and it's beside my bed right now. But so that I don't know why they changed buildings, but I've been there before and it wasn't there. But I think the original place I think that was like where she actually practiced like voodoo and stuff out of.
Oh, okay.
And they had moved it. So I don't know what that was about or anything like that. But yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty small and pretty cramped in there too. It's,
It was, yes. And so that night, I believe that was the night that me, Sean, and Kim, the Gen X'ers, we went home. And I think that was that the night, or was it the night before that you guys met the what were they called? Shot girls? What are they called?
Yeah, the scam artists is what they were called. It was that night. So this is what I was saying about keeping your wits about you. Because when I'm like sober, I am like, we don't talk to strangers. Like, don't ever take anything from anybody that you don't know. All this stuff. So
there's a lesson in there, right?
There's more than one. So we had so much fun the first night, though. Like we were just, trying to relive it, I guess. So we're like walking around on Bourbon, and these girls walk up to me and Jordan. And like, so this is we're just on the street. We're just out there. We're not in a place. And
you were just living it up. You were just out there. You'd already had some drinks, right?
Do what?
You'd already had some drinks, right?
Yes. So they had like a tray of like those little tubey thingies, little shot things. And they come up and she's like, do you guys want a shot? And Jordan and I were just like, yeah. And so she takes not one, but two of the tubey thingies and then like puts them in our mouth. Like, so this is 4 at this point. And then we both take another one. I think it ended up being 6 shots total, but it was very like, just not like forceful. Like we were like, yeah, bring it on. But it was very like quick. It was quick.
Like you had 6 shots, or actually did you each take 3?
Yeah, 3 and 3. So, well, at this point, I really don't think that there was alcohol in them, but whatever. That's not the point.
That's a story for another day. Yeah.
So I don't even know what was in them. Right. And then she says something to Jordan. Jordan's going to pay for them, So she says something to Jordan. I'm not like totally paying attention. And like Jordan's like giving her like cash. And I'm like, okay, like I wasn't totally there. And then Jordan's like, I need some cash. How much do you have? And I was like, how much do you need? And she was like, they were $160. And the shot girl, the girl that had given us the shots. And it, immediately like, when they came up to us, it was very like, yeah, woo, you want a shot? And now
they were all like happy and like friends, like we're friends. Yeah.
And now it's more like, give us the money. It was like, and I'm working on my people pleasing ways, but like I didn't say anything. I immediately money and was like, here you go. Didn't have enough and ended up having a cash app this girl like $40 more.
Oh my God.
I look back and I'm like, I could have definitely caused a problem, right? I could have, I mean, I don't know. There was like 4 of them. There's like 4 of us, I guess, I don't know. But I just, we had just gotten out there. I didn't want a problem. I didn't want a problem.
I think they bank on that though, knowing, because they're like intimidating.
Yes.
So then it's like, I don't want to fight here. So here's your money. Please leave me alone.
Hammers 1,000%. They get suckers like me out there just trying to live their best lives in New Orleans. And we paid $160 for probably juice, if I was being honest. So you are in New Orleans. It goes
Do not.
Don't take drinks from strangers on the street. Don't do it. Do not.
Well, I will say too, I had to look that up because I remember the next morning, I was like sitting out on the couch. I'm just like chilling, having some coffee. And Sasha comes out and she's like, man, I don't remember how you said it. You were like, you got scammed or something. And I was like, what? And you started telling me the story about how like they charge you. And I was like, well, how much do they charge you? And when you told me $160, like I literally like left my body. I was like, what? 100?
Yeah.
Could not even believe it.
Go
ahead.
I know when Jordan said that to me, I left my body. I know. I looked at that like, what? For what?
I know. And I was trying to think of like all the reasons. I was like, Sash, this is what you could have done. This is what you could have done. And then you were like, it happened so fast. And when you said they were intimidating, that's when I was like, I get it. Like I probably would have, but it's like, what if you didn't have the money? I don't have $160 fucking on me right now. So
I thought about that, but I just, I don't know.
Right. You were in the moment. So it was just something. Yeah. I went on TikTok after that to try to find like, what are these? I think they're called test tube girls or something like that in New Orleans. And some people, like I watched some videos of like some people were down with it, but I don't know if they were being charged $160 for 6 shots. I don't know. But
other people have sending me a video though of another girl that got scammed. I think she took 2 shots for like $50 or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, so they're definitely professionals and I'm sure they get suckers all the time. So don't be a sucker. Don't be like,
I'll just be a warning to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, like,
yeah.
There's anything in there.
There really could. Like, I was appalled. Because I'm thinking of like my loved ones out there taking something that they don't even know what could be in this drink and then paying $160. And I always think of like being roofied or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I'm not taking any drinks from, but I'm very like that too. So I get it.
Anxiety and watch a lot of true crime. Like I know the reality of the world and I know like crazy things happen and I still just was out there like party ready to
you'd had some drinks before, so it was like all of that like was just kind of melted away. And
true. Yeah, I learned a lesson though, and hopefully next time, no matter how drunk I am, I will not take drinks from random people. That's I hope I
thinking that they're just being nice, like here's 6 shots, enjoy.
Charge us. I did not know they were going to charge us almost $200.
Okay, so that's the test tube shot.
That was probably the most unfortunate part of our trip, but
yeah, it was. But overall, we had a really great time. Like Kim got to try his po' boy that he was talking about for like days ahead of time. That's one thing I can say about New Orleans. The food was wow. It really was. And you know how you'll hear people say like they travel somewhere like, oh, the food is just so good. Like I've really never been any place that I just thought like everywhere I went the food was good. But man, in New Orleans,
yeah,
it was. That we went to the gumbo shop. That's the one that I remember the most. And I'm just thinking that was just so good. It was so good. And we got our fortunes read.
Yep. We went to the tea room. That was fun.
You got your tea leaves read.
Yep.
So
I got the red and I got tarot. What did you get?
got tarot too.
You just
But I only bought the 10-minute session. So we were kind of rushed, and I felt so mad because when we went in there, I immediately told her I was like an Aquarius. Like she said some kind of question, and I remember going in thinking like, I'm not going to give her any information so that she will not. I want to see if this is real, because this is like my first time ever, right? And she asked me something, and I was like, no, I'm an Aquarius. I was like she knows now. And she's like, oh, my son's an Aquarius. I was like, oh, great. But it was still interesting, and I think some of the things she said applied. So it wasn't a total lot. It was only like 30. It was like $40 or something.
yeah.
So it wasn't bad. And then we had that lady that was crying and laughing, being super loud.
Yes.
She was drunk though. No, that was
yeah.
we had to leave the store.
I think that was my first experience with tea leaves, getting that read. So that was pretty cool. I thought you had to drink the tea. You don't, to clarify. We also kind of got rushed during like my tarot part because it was like towards the end, and like, you fill up a certain amount of time or whatever. But the tea leaves, I remember her talking about like she saw like a monkey at one point, and like she kind of like showed me it. And I thought that was cool because in the Chinese zodiac calendar, I'm a monkey. So I was like, ooh.
What'd she say about it? What was the significance?
For that specifically, she said that that showed that like in a partner, that I need someone that's like silly and fun and like outgoing. So you think it's true. Like I definitely need like a silly, goofy partner. But I also thought it was cool though, because I'm a monkey. So I was like, well, and she showed me it, and it could have been placebo, but I thought it was like, that's pretty cool. So the tea leaves was really cool. I would definitely want to do that again for sure.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I really didn't know anything about the tea leaves until you guys did it that day. So now I know more about it. But at that time, I was just like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go get my throat. Yeah. So it was good. Like I had never been to New Orleans. I seriously enjoyed it. The Airbnb we stayed at was beautiful. It was inside. The other parts, that was different. But we had a good time. I think we had a good time, and it was an experience for sure. So I think it was awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm glad we all got to do it.
Yeah. But something we did for this is we made like a huge ass Walmart order with, and we all just like pitched in money and we split it. And I thought that worked out. I mean, besides you guys picking it up, that was a little bit of, atrocious, but we had the food we needed. Yeah. And we didn't have to keep going out or whatever. We just had we had the coffee. I always think about coffee. You guys went and got liquor beforehand. And I don't know if it was you or Jordan. I think it was Jordan, really made some awesome, like you guys had the meats and cheeses and stuff, which I thought was really nice.
Oh, Jordan. She's so good. She's so good at like the charcuterie boards. And yes. She did amazing. Yeah. The spread we had, that was.
Yes.
That was really nice.
It was freaking awesome. And then we got a bunch of pictures taken.
Yeah.
So
we had a good time. So the vacation of my dreams, since it was for me, I'm glad that it was, but it was really perfect. We got to do everything we wanted to do. I feel like we got like a really good New Orleans experience, and yeah,
we got our beignets.
Yeah, beignets. Yep.
Yeah.
Was that so? Rush to do that too. I can't remember where we were going though. I think on our way to get our tarot cards.
We had to be there like at a certain time, and that was the day that it was like pouring rain. I was wearing my emotional support jacket, like.
Yeah. Over your backpack.
Yes. And let me say, like, I wear these plastic Birkenstocks literally everywhere unless I'm like trying to have an outfit put together. And I was wearing those, and this is like your PSA, guys. You cannot wear those Birkenstocks and get any sort of liquid. You will be like walking on ice. So it was like It was so pouring rain. I was just wearing these Birkenstocks and my feet were like slipping out of them. Like I'm trying to like walk. It was just, don't do that. I don't know why I did that. Why I wore those instead of like tennis shoes. Oh, I had a blister. Remember I was wearing your guys' shoes?
Yes.
So much happened.
Hard to remember, you know?
Because you guys were drinking the whole time.
I know.
I will say, I missed out. Like that night you guys went out, Kim and Sean and we stayed at the Airbnb and ordered food and watched. It was Kim's like one of his favorite movies, August of Osage County. We're just like,
you know what? I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Airbnb a little more, you know?
We did. We definitely hung out. And I just like to eat. So I always like to order food. Door dashing is like one of my favorite things to do when I go on vacation. It's like, let's get some food. So yeah.
Food's the biggest things for me. Like I wanna try the local stuff, I wanna try new stuff. I wanna eat.
Very interesting. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think pretty much that wraps up our New Orleans trip. We gave you a little PSA there about what to do and what not to do.
Yes.
If you have any questions, if you're getting ready to go to New Orleans or whatever, we might be able to help you out there a little bit. So yeah, is there anything else you would like to say like before we end this?
No, I think that's it for today.